Welcome back everybody to the Trepang lore series, where in today's episode we will discuss Site-83. This video will be divided up into two sections, the first being all in-game / developer confirmed information, and the second being my own theories as to where the world and story may go in the future. Horizon repurposed this former Soviet military base into a research facility. Nearby civilians have been evacuated under the cover of a gas leak. The Syndicate is sending in 106 with a small team to investigate. Arriving in Siberia with Phantom Team, we descend into the base with two other Phantom operatives. Also, I feel like I need to mention this, while gathering stock footage for this video, I stumbled upon this Easter egg.
Get in the elevator, 106. Whenever you're ready, 106. You don't need to worry about us, 106. We'll take the next lift down. You're not afraid of elevators, are you? Chicken shit. Watch your goddamn mouth, Trooper. 106, I gotta say. Ghost 1 and Spectre 1 spoke very highly of you. But your behavior so far has been unprofessional, to say the least. I mean, we all expected to see a super soldier at work. Jesus, Sergeant, it's not that big a deal. 106 got us this far, didn't he? Be that as it may, we're on a fucking mission here. Alright, 106. You dictate the mission tempo. You get in the elevator when you're ready. The mission will go according to your schedule.
Entering Site-83, from the get-go, we can tell things are not quite right, as we see the whole facility completely empty. Approaching a large door locked due to a lack of power, 106 is tasked with looking for a generator. As we approach said generator, the PA system called Vox turns on, saying something about someone moving at 600 kilometers per hour in the laundry room. Turning on the power, we are trapped by an electrified fence and have to sneak through a vent. Once we are out, we catch a glimpse of some kind of smoke thing moving towards our teammates. Once returning to them, they're gone. But the door is open, so we move on and immediately find a blood splatter and evidence of a fight. Trying to enter Lab A, we catch a glimpse of a dead Phantom operator before being cut off and attacked by this smoke creature who teleports us to a bathroom. Finding his bearings, 106 sees bodies all around, with "Don't run" written in blood on the mirror, as well as "Can't kill them" and "They're blind." Entering a hallway, 106 again finds this smoke creature roaming the halls, whispering about something indecipherable. If 106 is caught, it doesn't kill him, but sends him back to the bathroom. Sneaking past it and closing the door behind us, 106 can hear this creature scream out in rage. Rounding a corner, 106 finds a drone that reads, "Data package, Siberia Incident 2035. Upload complete. Incoming transmission. Data corrupted. Incoming message. Your mission is nearing completion. Will it end on your terms or theirs?" End of message. Continuing on, 106 finds the few remaining Horizon survivors who talk about how it is trying to trick and separate them. 106 dispatches them effortlessly as HVT Tchenko calls to someone called Blue Sky for assistance. After taking them all out, 106 can find a newspaper that reads, "U.S. Department of Defense announces budget cuts amidst controversy." In a move that has sparked widespread debate and concern, the U.S. Department of Defense recently announced another round of budget cuts, citing the need for a leaner and more focused military apparatus in response to today's challenges. The DoD's spokesperson emphasized strategic natures of these reductions. Critics argue that these cuts may come at a significant cost to both veterans and national security. According to the DoD spokesperson, the budget cuts are part of a comprehensive effort to streamline operations and allocate resources more effectively. The spokesperson highlighted the necessity of adapting to the evolving landscape of global security threats and addressing emerging challenges. Moving past dead Horizon guards, 106 enters a hallway and his vision suddenly goes fuzzy, before he's teleported once more into an odd wooden structure. Stepping through a doorway, it becomes clear that 106 has entered the Backrooms. Now, if you don't know what the Backrooms are, I will explain it later in the theory section, but for now, just know that this is not good. Eventually finding a long hallway ending in a green light, 106 sprints towards it as glowing eyes appear and chase him. Appearing once more at Site-83, he continues on, finding more dead Horizon operatives. Once more blocked by an electrified fence, 106 turns off the power and hears Vox say, "Find me." Attempting to turn on an elevator, 106 hears one of the Phantom operatives he arrived with call for help. Powering on the elevator, it comes crashing down as more Horizon forces intercept 106. Hopping down the elevator shaft, 106 enters the morgue and finds bodies everywhere. As 106 explores in one of the rooms, he can spot a strange shadow creature twitching over a stack of documents before the door slams shut. If we look into that room, we can see 2 newspapers, one of which is quite long, so I'll just summarize it. Basically, the first paper, titled Pandora Institute Ravaged by Devastating Terrorist Attack, explains how the renowned end-of-life care facility in Jasper, Alberta, Canada, operated by Horizon Corporation, suffered a devastating terrorist attack that left at least 213 dead, with more casualties feared. Known for offering free healthcare and support to terminally ill young people, the institute was home to individuals who had left profound legacies, like the artist Erica Thompson and the scientist Liam Johannesson, whose achievements inspired many. Horizon CEO Anton Lazar condemned the attack, pledging that the corporation's mission to support those in need would continue undeterred. The investigation is ongoing, while condolences and support pour in worldwide, honoring the remarkable lives lost and uniting the community in resilience and hope. Next to this is another newspaper that reads, UFO sighting in Atlantic Ocean, NORAD scrambles jets to intercept. Labrador Sea, Atlantic Ocean, eyewitnesses describe a large spiked glowing object falling from the sky and crashing into the Atlantic Ocean. The North American Aerospace Defense Command, NORAD, confirmed the presence of an unidentified airborne object in the region. However, both the US and Canadian governments have remained tight-lipped about the incident, refraining from speculating on whether the UFO had extraterrestrial origins or if it could be attributed to a foreign government. John Peterson, a sailor aboard a cargo ship, shared his account of the sighting. At first, I thought it was a meteor, but then it suddenly lifted off. Moving into a holding cell, 106 is stopped by a closing door. Dozens of shadow creatures rise up all around him before teleporting him once again into the Backrooms. It's here 106 can find the body of HVT Kronos, who is seemingly already dead. However, when interacting with the body, it explodes in a cloud of smoke and a grenade appears. Whilst fighting off the Horizon forces, 106 can hear an odd sound as Kronos appears alive and well, yet when 106 kills him, he explodes into a cloud of smoke. Entering a dark room full of pillars, Kronos ambushes 106 as shadow creatures watch from a distance. Again, killing him results in a puff of smoke and no body being left behind. Moving through more of these pillars, 106 again kills Kronos before entering a clearing and finding another handful of Kronos clones, as well as this blue sky individual that Tachenko was calling for. Once they're dealt with, the real Kronos appears, and once killed, his body begins to smoke and hiss, almost melting away into the shadows. Continuing on, 106 is able to find the green light again and is teleported away from the Backrooms and into a control room at Site 83, where he finds the other surviving Phantom operatives shooting at a strange crystal obelisk, with the text on the wall reading, Subject 83-102 Containment. Reaching the Phantom operatives, they are attempting to destroy the obelisk with some kind of high-powered laser, but they are all suddenly gibbed by shadow creatures. Trying to turn on the power to reactivate the laser, 106 is blocked by more of these shadow creatures. Out of nowhere, Horizon forces arrive led by HVT Charon, but as 106 kills them all, the shadow creatures begin to dissipate, as they seem to absorb the bodies of the dead, allowing 106 to turn on the power and activate the laser, destroying Subject 83, resulting in the obelisk sucking 106 into it. He then wakes on the outskirts of a massive crater, presumably where Site 83 used to be, with Vox cryptically saying, "It's not your time yet." And that is all the lore on this mission, so let's get into the intel. First, we have History Log 1. Site 83 was formerly a Soviet military base, built sometime during the 1970s. For unknown reasons, it was abandoned and sealed up by the Soviet government after an incident in 1986. Decades passed, and it was all but forgotten. However, thanks to the connections of CEO Anton Lazar, in 2035, the facility has been reopened and is now being studied by Horizon. History Log 2. The Soviets discovered a mysterious crystal, which they designated as Object 83. The discovery was met with excitement, but soon turned to horror as the staff began disappearing or going insane. It was believed that the strange occurrences were caused by breathing in chemicals emitted by the crystal. A filtration system was installed, and all of the staff were required to wear gas masks. With these precautions in place, work resumed, until an undocumented incident in 1986 resulted in a rushed evacuation. Before most personnel could escape, the entrances were sealed with concrete, and many personnel were trapped and never found. Logistics report. I am writing this report to document the strange occurrences happening in our logistics department. Despite rigorous checks, several times along the way, items are going missing. We have ruled out theft, as sometimes unaccounted for items show up elsewhere, or we find duplicates along the way. History Log 3. Subject 83 is now the designation for the mysterious crystal. Our staff reported strange occurrences of objects moving or disappearing. Initially, we believed it was caused by the gas, but we confirmed through security cameras that small objects were indeed disappearing. However, the cameras would lose signal during these events. Medical officers note: there has been a recent significant increase in patients ending up in the infirmary. The majority of these cases involve accidents with heavy machinery. It appears that individuals are experiencing hallucinations or blacking out while operating the equipment. Scientists log 1. The crystal, Subject 83, was unintentionally electrified during a power surge. The power blew out entirely, and vibrations were felt across the facility. The crystal started to grow brighter. We will attempt to shock it again under more controlled circumstances. I am confident our containment procedures are adequate. Scientists log 2. Since the electrified incident, more objects have been reported missing. Additionally, a member of the security team is unaccounted for, and we are unable to locate him or his signal. We are conducting a thorough search of the facility. Scientists log 3. We fired an electrical current at the crystal. This time, nobody went missing, but we heard voices we couldn't explain. Strangely, none of the recording equipment was able to capture them. In the surveillance room, we noticed the missing security guard's helmet camera was suddenly switched on. It was on the floor, in a yellow fluorescent room, definitely not a known part of this facility. Somehow the location looked familiar to us all. We recognized some of the logged missing objects in the room. We tried to locate him, but the camera coordinates are out of range. The latitude and longitude put him somewhere off the Gulf of Guinea. There must be a problem with the signal. Scientists log 4. Today we witnessed the crystal physically pulling in and absorbing several objects within close proximity to it. We are unsure where they are taken. We placed several cameras inside, and they continued to transmit from a location at least thousands of miles away, judging by the camera's speed. We are coordinating with security to send a team to explore the area and locate the missing guard. Expedition Report 1. The security team is growing increasingly anxious about the missing guard, and the scientists are curious as to what is happening inside. We are sending a team of 20 of our best security personnel, all equipped with cameras and 10 days of supplies to approach the crystal and try to locate the missing guard. The expedition team approached the crystal, and one by one, they were sucked in. Upon arrival, they found themselves in an area consisting entirely of yellow pinster walls, carpets, and fluorescent lights. The team spent a whole day mapping out the area, covering over 30 kilometers, but it appears to be an endless labyrinth. As the commander of security personnel at Site 83, I wish I could join them, but I have my duties to oversee the mission from here. I will continue to observe and report from their camera feeds. Expedition Report 2, Day 3. Teams were split up into Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie to cover more ground at once. Suddenly, Bravo team emitted loud static from their mic and went radio silent. Alpha and Charlie moved to the location, but only found their mutilated remains. The surviving expedition team members requested help, but we still don't know their location. We ordered them to proceed with the search. Backrooms Expedition 3, Day 5. With the expedition team suffering losses, corporate is invoking its authority to get involved to prevent the situation from getting worse. They are assembling a team of specialists to take over. The expedition team reported seeing movement in the shadows and hearing voices. We aren't able to observe either through the camera feeds, and we are worried they may be hallucinating. Expedition Report 4, Day 7. Suddenly we received loud, deafening static from the expedition team members, and all camera feeds were cut. The gas alarms went off, and everyone ran to get gas masks. Those who weren't able to put it on in time, God help them. We radioed for QRF and sent out a distress call. Before we could hear any replies, corporate shut off our comms in elevators. Probably afraid we'll contact local authorities and cause a PR incident. We are all just sheltering in place, hoping someone's coming to get us. TF-27 mission log. New priority objective: destroy Subject 83. We have lost contact with 106 and the other teams. They may be compromised or KIA. According to our intel, destroying Subject 83 will end the anomalous activities taking place in the area. The prototype 300 kW laser should be sufficient to destroy it in one shot, but you will need to connect it to the base's power source. With that, let's move on to the HVTs. First, we have Blue Sky Officer, name unknown. A member of Blue Sky, a top secret Horizon research division, no information is available on the nature of their work, and previous attempts to uncover more have been unsuccessful, resulting in the loss of Syndicate agents. Ivan Tachenko. Ivan is sent to audit facilities where there are reports of increased medical incidents. He has been known to take bribes to help cover up safety or health problems. Charon, real name redacted, leader of a quote-unquote sanitation unit, Charon is called upon when rescue is no longer an option. Known for his ruthless but effective approach, his operation usually ends with a high body count and no witnesses. Samuel Muir, aka Kronos. Dr. Samuel Muir is a theoretical physicist on a research contract at the Horizon Corporation. He was previously believed to have been neutralized in a TF-27 raid. However, recent intercepted communications from Horizon suggest that he remains active and involved in a highly classified project. His suspected use of a body double, combined with his background in military psychological operations, leads us to believe that he may be part of a larger deception operation. And that is all the intel and lore for this mission, so let's talk about a few things. So let's talk about the Backrooms. The Backrooms is a popular internet horror concept that originated as a creepypasta, has since evolved into a larger mythos. The basic premise is that a person can accidentally no-clip out of reality and end up in the Backrooms. These spaces look like mundane, slightly off places, such as an endless stretch of yellowed, buzzing fluorescent lit rooms with stained carpets and peeling wallpaper. The atmosphere is unsettling because everything feels wrong and empty, like a dream where something sinister might be lurking, but you can't pinpoint what. The Backrooms as a whole taps into the dread of liminal spaces, transitional zones that are unsettling because they're familiar yet distorted, often void of people and evoke feelings of isolation, fear, and disorientation. There is no real canon to the Backrooms, as different fans have added different levels having unique characteristics, environments, and dangers. Some levels are vast offices, others are dangerous landscapes, and many are inhabited by bizarre, hostile creatures or entities, all of which vary substantially depending on who is making said Backrooms content. In the case of the Trepang world, Subject 83, initially believed to be a mysterious crystal emitting dangerous chemicals, appears to be far more complex and sentient than initially understood. Evidence points to the possibility that the crystal is not merely an object, but rather a dimensional rift, a portal that manipulates space, time, and reality within its proximity. Its effects suggest a direct connection to an alternative dimension or reality, referred to the expedition team as an endless labyrinth, filled with yellow walls, fluorescent lights, and hostile unseen entities, so basically, the Backrooms. In other words, Subject 83 is a gateway to another dimension, possibly a liminal space where physical laws as we know them break down. And with the increased disappearance of personnel and objects, the warping of signals, and the duplication of items, all of this points to the idea that the crystal is not only a rift, but also destabilizing the boundaries between dimensions. This would explain why items disappear and reappear in unexpected places. Also, as the expedition team progressed into the Backrooms, the crystal seemed to grow in power and sentience, responding to external stimuli such as the power surge and the intentional electrical shocks. The fact that voices were heard during these incidents but not captured on recording devices implies that Subject 83 is manipulating the perception of those near it, causing them to hear or see things that aren't detectable by ordinary means. This raises the question, could Subject 83 be a living entity or a conduit for one? The increased hallucinations, accidents, and the presence of unseen entities in the labyrinth suggest that the crystal may be influencing the minds of those around it, luring them into this alternate dimension either through force or subtle mental manipulation. It may use this dimension as a feeding ground, absorbing not only physical objects, but perhaps the life force or consciousnesses of individuals, meaning the shadow creatures we see are all that remains of those lost in the Backrooms. Perhaps Vox, saying "find us," was the last shred of their humanity, asking 106 to destroy the crystal in order to free them from the Backrooms entity. Now, shifting focus here, let's talk about Kronos, because he is by far my favorite HVT we encounter, because his entire fight is so unique and completely unexpected compared to all the other HVTs. Samuel Muir, a theoretical physicist, may not only have been studying the nature of space and time, but actively experimenting with it, potentially for military or corporate gains. His involvement in this highly classified project could revolve around understanding and exploring the boundaries of reality in a way similar to how the crystal in Site 83 seems to manipulate dimensions, perhaps even tapping into or controlling access to the Backrooms or other liminal spaces. Given the nature of Subject 83 and the Backrooms' link to liminal spaces, Kronos could have been a leading scientist in Horizon's project to exploit dimensional breaches. His role might have involved stabilizing or controlling dimensional rifts and using them for transportation, confinement, or even possibly energy extraction. His skill set in theoretical physics would make him the ideal candidate to understand and manipulate the boundaries of reality. In fact, Kronos may have made some form of contact or alliance with the entities within the Backrooms, granting him these odd abilities we've seen him use. So by gaining the trust or cooperation of certain entities in the Backrooms, he might be looking to harness their power or even recruit them as assets for Horizon projects. Ultimately, Kronos' goal could be to weaponize liminal spaces like the Backrooms for corporate or military use. Imagine a weaponized rift that could send entire squads, assets, or enemy threats into these endless hostile labyrinths with a single misstep. doorstep. Such technology would give Horizon an unparalleled advantage, allowing them to contain or eliminate threats instantaneously. Kronos would be the keystone to this project, both as the physicist capable of operating these rifts and the tactician who could plan their strategic use. This project, if successful, could turn the Backrooms into a strategic tool for Horizon Corporation, but the risk of losing control and unleashing its eldritch horrors onto the world would remain a constant threat.